This is Ms. Hadi from Olympian High School. I want to show you some tips for how to outline Chapter 1. Unfortunately, we don't have a lot of time. I only have 5 minutes for this video, whereas if we were not in distance learning, I would be spending hours, especially if you're in 9th grade, reading. And so Ms. Rogosin teaches ancient world history too. We would read page by page with you, Chapter 1, and we would help you become more comfortable and familiar with what to take notes on, what to not take notes on, so that you're not spending too much time. We don't have hours right now, I have 5 minutes. So I'm not going to outline the vignette with you, although if you were reading this, I would encourage you to use a dictionary and to look up any words that you don't know or that you think you know but maybe aren't sure about, like the word contemporary, for example, which could mean modern or it can mean people alive at the same time as whoever they're talking about. So use your dictionary, don't just take the first definition, but you're going to have to read this on your own, kind of figure this out on your own, because I want this video to focus on the things that where the chapter really starts. So pretend we took notes on the vignette. I'm just going to put that over here. You can take it over here. And then you get to the first red heading, which is your first Roman numeral, and there's an introduction. So we want to take like at least 1 bullet per paragraph. Don't take too many notes. And remember, we're focusing on cause, effect, change, continuity, compare, contrast, and that'll take me 5 minutes just to do these 3 paragraphs. And then I might make one more video to kind of help you figure out what to do when you get to the marginal notes. So let's do this paragraph together. I'm literally going to read it with you, and we're going to talk about what matters. What you'll see me do after I read each sentence is stop and summarize it to myself. And I want you to get into the habit of doing that too, so that you can double check that you understand what it's saying. Sometimes this is written at a college level, and sometimes you think you understand it, but if you stop and pause, you're going to have a deeper reading comprehension than you would if you just skimmed it. So let's start with the very beginning. During the past century, the last 100 years or so, archaeologists, evolutionary biologists, and other scholars, so 1, 2, 3 types of people, have vastly or greatly increased the understanding of human origins, where humans came from, and the lives our distant ancestors led. Okay, so it sounds like we know more about what happened to our distant ancestors than we did before because of the work of these people. Their work has done much to clarify the relationship between human beings and other animal species. Okay, so they've helped us understand more. On one hand, now this is a common phrase in English. Usually when you see the phrase on the one hand, it's followed up with on the other hand. So it's kind of when we're about to present 2 sides of something. So I know that they're going to tell me that our ancient ancestors might have had something that's similar to us and something that's different. So on one hand, so try to predict as you read. On one hand, researchers have shown that human beings share some remarkable similarities with the large apes. So yes, we have things in common with them. This point is true not only of external features, things on our outside, such as physical form, but also of the basic elements of genetic makeup and body chemistry. DNA, chromosomal patterns, life-sustaining proteins, and blood types. Okay, so inside and outside, we're a lot like the apes. Notice how I summarize the sentence. In the case of some of these elements, scientists have been able to observe a difference of only 1.6% between the DNA of human beings and chimpanzees. Well, I think to myself, is 1.6% a lot? No, it's not a lot. That means human beings and chimpanzees are very similar. Biologists therefore place human beings in the order of primates, along with monkeys, chimpanzees, gorillas, and various other large apes. Do I want to take a note on this? Not really, but Ms. Hadi said take a note on one thing in every paragraph. So I might say humans and primates similar genetically. And maybe I'll even write down that 1.6%. But I'm not going to. But you could if you wanted to. So I wrote down the main idea of this paragraph. On the other hand, remember we talked about on the one hand usually being followed up on the other hand, so I predict that this paragraph is going to tell us how we're different. So you want to predict while you read. On the other hand, human beings clearly stand out as the most distinctive or unique of the primate species. Small differences in genetic makeup and body chemistry have led to enormous differences in levels of intelligence and the ability to exercise control over the natural world. Okay, so it sounds like we are different, and we're mainly different in how intelligent we are. Human beings developed an extraordinarily high order of intelligence which enabled, that means caused them, to devise tools, technologies, language skills, and other means or methods of communication and cooperation. Whereas other animal species adapted physically and genetically to their natural environment, human beings alter the natural environment to suit or meet their needs and desires, a process that began in a long, distant, remote prehistory, and continues to the present day. Over the long term, too, intelligence endowed or gave humans immense potential for social and cultural development. So this is about our intelligence being the difference. So I'm going to write that down, and that's it for this section.